about the services and its types, and after that we will discuss about the characteristics of the services marketing. Like tangibility is one characteristics, inseparability is one characteristics, perishability and seasonality, all these things are the characteristics of marketing. So that we will discuss, and after that we will try to include the marketing, how we can solve the problem of intangibility in the tourism sector, how actually we can convince the tourists for a product, for a offer, because there are some kind of tourists, they don't look only for the experience, they want something to be seen. Without that they are not like convinced to buy the product. So how we can solve this intangibility factor and inseparability factor, perishability factor, that we will discuss in the coming next slide. So now I will start with the tourism marketing orientation, that similarly to the tourism marketing orientation that we have linked with the tourism, like tourism approach and economic planning approach, all these things are like same in this also. Like if we talk about the product approach, production approach, so the main focus area was like companies were focusing on more to develop new kind of product, new kind of destination, and they were trying to make it available to the customer, and they were trying to develop the distribution channel so that they can make them available in the market and customer can easily reach to the product and they can buy it. But the thing was that in the production approach, they were not focusing on the needs of the customer, they were just focusing on the production process, how we can create more and more product and make it possible and make it available in the market. So that was the first approach. So in the first approach, if we talk about, for example, there there was a visitor and he was staying is a he was staying in a hotel that was in Switzerland, and the hotel rooms was like having a very beautiful lake, Geneva lake view. So he was staying there, and below that rooms there was a dining room. So in the dining room, at the edge of the dining room, there was a like a very good view of the Lake Geneva, uh, Lake Geneva. So the thing was that in that case, what happened actually, the people wanted to sit at the edge of the dining room, and that area was a little far from the kitchen. So for the tourists, it was like very good to sit at the edge of the dining room. Because of that, they can enjoy the surrounding, they can see the lakes. So but for the hotel it was not suitable, because they don't want to provide the food at the edge of the dining room area, because it was like very far from the kitchen, and if they are providing the services there, the the waiter have to take the food from the kitchen and then again go to the edge of the dining room. So it will take time, and even it is like very far from the kitchen. But in this case, the tourists were very comfortable sitting at the edge of the dining room so that they can enjoy the view. So what happened in this case is that if so they tried to not providing the food at the edge of the dining room. They said that you are supposed to sit in the dining room only, not at the edge of the dining room. But the thing was that tourists were not satisfied. If they are asking to sit at the edge of the dining room, they they got a very pained expression from the service provider. They were not like ready to provide the service at the edge of the dining room, because it takes time to take the food from the kitchen and then go and serve at the edge of the dining room. So because of that, they have avoided that kind of thing. But still, it was like a very good thing for the tourists, but they have avoided to provide the services at the age of dining room. So in this case, the thing is that the the hotel industry, the hotelier, they doesn't understand the need of the customer. They just wanted to produce the food. They just wanted to prepare the food and provide it the like they wanted to produce the food and they wanted to provide the food in the dining room only, not in the age of the dining room. So because of that, in the production approach, the main focus was to produce and provide the services as per the uh, as per the advantages and the facility of the company. They doesn't understand the need of the customer, where actually the customer want to have the food, or where actually the customer want to go to any destination. They didn't understand in this approach. So after that, there is second approach, that is called the product approach. So in this approach, what actually they have done is that uh, are you able to understand the production approach, Tanya?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Is it clear? Production approach, the more focus
Yes,
was
sir.
like producing more and try to available the product in the market. That was the first approach. And after that, the second approach came into existence, that is called the product approach. So in the product approach, what actually happens, they try to develop the they try to develop the same product in a innovative way. they, they try to focus on the quality of the product and feature of the product. For example, uh, there was a restaurant. So there was a restaurant, Victoria Station, and they were like very good in the prime rib. Prime rib is nothing but it is a non-veg kind of you can say food. So they were very good in the prime rib. But the thing was that they were always focusing in the prime rib. They were trying to develop new product and new qualities in the same product in the prime rib only. But the thing is that in this approach that they doesn't understand the need what actually the customer want. They doesn't understand in this approach also. They were just focusing on the quality and the features of the product. They were trying to develop new qualities in the same product. And they have developed like more than 15 uh, they have they have established like more than 50 restaurants in different cities, but their specialization were in specialization were only in primary. So it is not possible to satisfy the need of the customer with only one single product, even though you are focusing in new innovative features in the same product. Like if we talk about the Nokia phone, that was like in 2000 something like that. So there was uh, they have they had like a very good goodwill, and people were buying the product. But if they are doing the new innovation in the same product, for example, if if you have used the Nokia phone in 2001 or 2, there was only one game feature, that was like snake game. Have you used the Nokia phone, Tanya?
No, sir.
Yeah. So there was like only one game in the 2002 or 2003. And if they are inventing new games in the same phone, the customer will not get satisfied because they want something different. So we cannot we cannot only focus on the quality of the product, but still we should focus on the satisfaction of the customer. So because of that, in this case, like in the Victoria Station restaurant case, what happened? they have adopted the other product because the other restaurant were able to satisfy the need of the customer, and they were focusing on different product. So because of that, the customer from the Victoria station, they moved to the other restaurant because the Victoria restaurant was only focusing on one single product, and but the customer was like, we we don't want the same product every time. So because of that, they have lose the market share. So production approach is nothing but increasing the quality of the product, innovating the same product in a better way. That is called the product approach. So in this case also, the companies who were producing the product, they were just focusing on the quality of the product, but they are not focusing on the satisfaction level of the customer. After that, the third stage is that is the sales approach. So sales approach is nothing but like if you have made so many different kind of packages in the production approach, you have created religious packages, you have created adventure packages, you have created uh, you can say historical kind of packages. But the thing is that uh, we cannot sell all the packages without the selling effort of the marketer. So in this approach, in the sales approach, they have understood that whatever we have need the packages, we cannot sell without the selling tactic. So in this approach, they focused like training to the salespeople. They were focusing more on promotion, how we can promote more and more in the market, how we can advertise our product in a different way so that we can approach the customer and we can sell our product in the market, and we can get the market share at a very large scale. In this case also, if we talk about like sales approach, in this case also they were just focusing like the how we can sell more and we can get the profit out of the customer. But still then they were not focusing the satisfaction level of the customer. For example, I'll just give you an example in this approach. Like uh, for example, you can, if you want to make, if you want to sell a combo kangi, if you want to sell a kangi to a bird like gun takleko, if you want to sell a kangi, you can sell and you can convince them like if you will use this comb, you will get the hair. But the thing is that the comb is the comb is not going to give you hair. You can make a fool, you can make the fool a customer only one time, but you cannot make full customer every time. So if the person who is buying comb because he thinks that if I will use this comb, I will get the hair. But the situation is that he is never going to get the hair because the marketer, the people who are like marketing the product, he is saying that you will get the hair, and he is lying. So you can make the people fool one time, but you cannot make the people every time. So in the sales approach, the marketer were more focusing whatever we have produced, what kind of packages we have produced. We just need to sell it. We don't need to consider the satisfaction level of the customer. So if in this case, like in the comp case, like if you are selling a comp to a world man, so you can convince one time, but the customer, if it is not satisfied, he is never he is never going to come back to the company because you have lied to him, and he is never going to come back to you, and he might create the problem in the future. He might go to his friend, he might go to his relative or his friend circle, and he can say the uh, negative thing about your product. So in that way, the company will lose the potential customer in the future. Are you getting my points?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So in the sales approach, it is like just focusing on the selling technique, how we can sell more and we can get the profit out of it. But we are not going to consider about the satisfaction level of the customer. And after that, the fourth approach, that is called the marketing approach. So in this case, what happened actually, company companies were trying to develop new product. Even they were trying to focus on the quality of the product and feature of the product, and also they were focusing on the selling techniques. But one thing they have considered in this approach is that they have they try to find out the need and the wants and the demand of the customer. They try to find out the need and how we can satisfy the customer according to the need of the customer. They try to develop the new product, and they try to develop the new feature in the product, and they try to develop new ways to approach the customer so that we can convince as well as we can sell to the customer, and we can also satisfy the need of the customer. So in the marketing approach, it is like identification of the customer, and after identification of the need of the customer, we can accordingly offer the product as per the need of the customer. Are you getting my point in the marketing approach? What actually
Yes,
they
sir.
have? Yes. So in this approach, nothing but they have tried to focus more on the need of the customer. And after that, a fifth approach is what is fifth approach? I'm not able to see. Can you read it?
1 minute, sir.
Marketing management. Yeah, it is marketing management, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Marketing management, or you can say the societal approach. So it is nothing but in the fourth approach we have focused on the need of the customer. In the fifth approach, that is marketing management approach, or you can say the societal approach. So in this we have, like, we were focusing on the need of the customer. According to that, we were offering the services to the customer. But one thing we have added in this approach is that we try to understand the importance of the society. For example, you so many times you might have been to a restaurant, right? And you have ordered, you might have been to a restaurant with your friend and you have ordered food. So in this case, what happens, sometimes we order so many food, but the thing is that we are not able to eat all the foods. So how we can be like importance, how we can give the value to the society in this case. So there is a like a data which is given by the restaurant SRA, restaurant association, something like restaurant association. They have given a report like if you are going to a restaurant and if you are not able to eat all the food, so there are cases like 34% cases are like that. We never thought like whatever food is left after eating, like once our stomach is full, 34% cases are like that. We never thought to ask to the restaurant that we want the food to be packed and we want the food to be taken by us by to our home. We never thought about that. There are 34% cases like we never thought to take the uneaten food to our home. Like, have you ever asked like you want the food whichever is not eaten, you want to take it back to your home? You never thought. So there are 34% cases, and if it and 25% cases are like that. Uh, we, we don't feel like asking the restaurant, can you please pack it? pack it and we want to take the food to our home, or we want to just pack, we just pack it and we will give to some people, or we can give the food to the poor people. We never ask because we feel ashamed. It is it is like awkward to asking to the restaurant to pack the uneaten food. So there are like 25% cases. So, and there are like 24% cases, like you might think that if we will ask the restaurant whatever we didn't eat, whatever is left, 24% cases are like that. We think that if we will ask the restaurant, they will say that we don't provide this kind of facility. They don't allow the uneaten food to carry, you can carry to your home. So that like 25% cases are like that. And 18% 18% cases are like that because you went to a restaurant and your stomach is like totally full. So you think that if I will carry like uneaten food to my home, even though I'm carrying the uneaten food, I will not be able to eat at the home because I'm already full. How I will eat the uneaten food at the home? So because of that, like there are 18 percentage like people doesn't ask to the restaurant because they feel that if we will carry, still we will not be in a position to eat the uneaten food at the home. So because of that, so what we can do in this situation is like that we can uh, we can ask the restaurant to pack the uneaten food, and we can give that kind of food. If you are thinking that you will be not in a position to eat that uneaten food at the home, so you can just pack it up and you can provide that food to the local people or the poor people who are at the road or the anywhere. So that kind of things that can be happen in this situation. So in this approach, they have tried to understand the importance of the society. Like society must be benefited. Whatever you are doing, whatever as a tourist you are doing at the destination, whatever like activities you are doing, whatever you are eating, so society must be benefited. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
So it is like whatever activities you are doing, you must take care of the society as well. You must give something, like some kind of benefit to the society. So it is like sustainable approach. We should not waste the food, we should not the waste whatever we are using. It is like whatever is left is there, the needy people will get that kind of things, whatever is left with you. So it is like nothing but, have you understood all these approaches like
Yes,
production,
sir.
production? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll go to the next topic, that is service and its type. So if we talk about the service, just one second. Okay, well. So services are like defined as the activities, benefit and satisfaction which are offered for sale are provided in connection with the sales of the good. That is a definition which is given by the American Marketing Association in 1968. So it is like activities, services can be an activities. Like if you are going to a this destination, you can do a scuba diving, you can do the banana riding. So these are the activities that you can do. Still, then you still like you are not going to own the banana ride. You cannot own the company of the scuba diving, but you are doing some kind of activities at the destination. And it is like intangible. It is like non-ownership nature. Like you cannot own the banana ride, you cannot own the hotel rooms. Even though you are purchasing a room for one night, you cannot own it, right? So services is nothing but the benefit, the experience, the satisfaction that we are getting out of the product that we have purchased. Like if we have purchased the tourism offers. So in that, what actually we are going to get is the experience, the memories that we have like got at the destination. That is called the services. So there are different types of service. There are banking services, there are retail services, there are like so many different professional kind of services like lawyer services, accountant services. So hospitality and tourism industry is one of them, because we are like our product is like very you can say like very similar to the service. Not very, it is like mostly similar to the service industry, because we have the same characteristic like intangibility, perishability. Like if we are not using the room, the like for example, if you have booked the room for 2 days, if you are not using the room for 2 days, you will not be able to use the room for a day after tomorrow. So that is like perishability nature of services. So so what are the different types of services that we are going to discuss? Like we can classify the services on the basis of market. So on the basis of market, we can divide the services into two categories. The first one is like consumer services. What if we talk about the tourism? So what can be a consumer services? So it is like travel agent or the tour operator, we who like they are getting the hotel room from the hotels, they are getting the airline tickets from the airlines industry, and they are taking the vehicle from the transport industry. So once they have combined all these things together, so that is called the packages. So after making all this arrangement, and if they are offering these services to a customer, that is called the customer. So consumer services are nothing but the 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 user of these services will be the ultimate user, like the tourist, because they are the people, they are going to use the services at the end of the uh, at the end they are going to use the hotel, airline tickets or the hotel room or the vehicles. So this is called the consumer services. And business services, like for example, there are cases like in case of Make My Trip, or in case of Oyo Room, or in case of Tree Vogo, or in case of like travel boutique. These are the portals. What actually they do is like that they are like linked with the hotel industry or the airline industry. They are dealing with the directly to the service provider, like they are dealing with the supplier. They are not dealing with the customer directly. So what they do is like that. In case of Make My Trip, they go to the hotel, they try to link their website with the hotel. So in this case, the service provider will deal with the travel agent or the tour operator or the online travel companies. So it is like business services. In this case, we are not considering about the consumer services. We are just focusing the like it is like B2B services, where we are purchasing a service from a other company. Like we are purchasing a service from a hotel, we are purchasing a airline ticket from a airline companies. So that is called the business services. After purchasing the services from an airline, we can sell that somebody is calling. So after purchasing from the services from the airlines or the hotel, we will combine it, and after that, after combination, we can sell it to the ultimate user, that is the consumer. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay, so after that, the second basis, like on the basis of degree of labor intensiveness. So If we talk about like tourism industry, so tourism industry is like very intense, very you can say very people intensive industry, where the like involvement of the people are like very much. Like if you are traveling to if you are traveling to any destination, there must be a person to facilitate you, like he can suggest you what are the things that you can see in this city and what are the things that we can do in this city. So it is like very people based industry. Like if you will go to a hotel, there must be a receptionist, there must be a front office person. If it is not there, you will feel like uncomfortable. You will not be in a position to check in the hotel. So it is like people based industry, and these are the people they are going to create your experience, right? So where the people like where the like in hotel case, if there is so much demand of the hotel room, if there is peak season, so a lot of people are required to satisfy the demand. A lot of people are required to be in the peak season, because if there are less people, the hoteliers will not be in a position to satisfy the need of the need of the guest. So because of that, it is like people based. Uh, Tourism industry is like so many people are required to satisfy the need of the customer. Like if you will book a travel package or tour packages, you need the travel agent. And if you will go to the destination, you need the front office person. And if you will go to a destination, you need the guide. So it is like so much in like people intensive based company. And there are the second category is like equipment based. So in this case, we can take an example like CRS, computer reservation system, and GDS. We can take like for example, like Amadeus is there, and Galileo is there. These are the software. Like every hotel company, they have their own website. Every airline company, they have their own website. Like in case of Indigo, you don't need to go physically to a store, or you don't need to go physically at the office of the Indigo to book an airline ticket, or to book some kind of services. You just need to go to the website of Indigo and you can book the airline ticket. So in this case, what happens is that services is like equipment bed. We have so many software. With the help of that software, services can be provided to the customer. Like in case of Make My Trip, we can book the holidays packages. If we will go to the Make My Trip website, like in case, like if you are budget travel, a budget traveler, so in that case you need some kind of budget facilities. So there are so many websites. Have you heard about like hostel.com,
No,
Tanya?
sir. No, sir.
So you should check is like hostel.com. Like if you are traveling to Goa, if you are traveling to Pondicherry, and if you are traveling to any destination in India and even abroad, if you are like a budget traveler, you can get a hostel, and that will be like very good condition. You just need to pay like 1,000 or sometimes 500. Or if you are traveling to foreign countries, maximum you need to pay just like 1,500 rupees. Like if you are traveling to European countries, you need to pay just like 1,500 or 1,600, and you can book a hostel. So it is like a very good experience, like staying in hostel. You can interact with the like travel bloggers. So many, they are like travel bloggers are like budget kind of tourists, because they have to travel so many destinations, so they cannot stay in 3 star or 4 star or 5 star kind of hotel. So equipment based services are there. Are so many websites like hostels.com, and there is one more website like Airbnb. Have you heard about it, Tanya?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, so like if your room, if your house is like very big, and your family is like very small and you have some extra room, you can just link that room with the Airbnb and you can offer that room to the tourists. So these kind of services are available in the market. So that it's like equipment based, or you can say the online based services. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Is it clear everything, right?
Yes, sir.
Sir, sorry to interrupt. On the basis of market, consumer service, I understood, but business service, can you please tell it again?
Okay, yeah. Business services is nothing but like if I have like I run my business, I run my travel companies, right? What is my market? Like I have to offer my services to the customer, right? So in that case, what actually I will do is like that I will try to link my travel company with the supplier, service suppliers. What are the service supplier in the tourism industry? Service supplier are nothing but they are like hoteliers, they are like airlines. So these are the service provider people, like event organizer. I will try to link my company with this kind of people who are providing services in the tourism industry. So once I will link my company with the service provider like hoteliers and airlines, if I'm getting the services from them, that is called the business services, which I'm getting from the ultimate supplier like hotel, airlines or transport industry. So this is the business services. And once I have got services from the ultimate supplier, I will try to combine it, or I can sell it separately as well. Like if I have got the services from the airline industry, I have bought like a bulk. I have done a bulk booking in the airlines. I have booked like 80 tickets in the peak season. So I will try to sell it in the packages. I can sell I can sell the ticket separately to the customer. It is nothing but like linking your business to the ultimate service provider, not linking with the consumer. That is called the business services. It is clear now?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Fine. So I will go to the next slide. Have you understood on the basis of degree of labor intensiveness?
Yes, sir.
So I will just go to the next slide. On the basis of degree of customer contact and like our involvement. So there are two kind of services that we can attach to this basis, like low contact or low involvement. Like for example, uh, if you are going to what is that? For example, if you are going to Kedarnath or some kind of religious destination, like if you are going to Vaishno Devi, in Vaishno Devi, what happens actually is that there are so many like critical things that should be solved, right? Because it is like religious palace and so, and it is like not accessible easily. You have to travel to Vaishno Devi temple by boat, or there are some like lorries kind of thing. You can travel to the tem- temple by horse. These kind of facilities are available. So in the low contact, what actually happens is like that. It is like fixed fixed tour packages, like there is a very low involvement of the tourist is not going to give the ideas where actually he want to go. It is like he is just going to buy the fixed packages which is decided by the company, like Vaishno Devi package, Char Dham packages, or Mahakumbh Mela packages. These are like very fixed packages where the customer is not going to decide what actually he want to do. because it is like very critical where the customer is not like in a position to give his ideas because he doesn't know the destination and the critical situation that might happen at the destination. So these are like very low involvement of the tourist where the where the tourist is not going to give any ideas where actually he is trying to go, what kind of duration he want to stay at the destination. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Yes. And after that comes the second category, that is like high contact involvement. So in the high contact involvement, what happens is like that. So have you heard about traveling the sea?
No,
Traveling the sea, mountain trekking, and nomadic Indian. These are like very famous. You can say travel blogger in India. They have millions of followers. So if a person like who have traveled to so many destinations, they cannot buy a fixed package because they have certain different kind of requirement. So they cannot go with the fixed package. Whatever the company is offering, they cannot buy it, right? Like if I have traveled to so many destinations, I bought the packages as per my need, right? Who is just speaking? Can you please unmute your mic? Hello. Yes. So high contact is nothing but where the customer will involve in the this. Can you please unmute your mic? I'm getting disturbed. Who is that? 20, who is 25? Who is 25? Who is 25? Kindly unmute your
huh?
mic. I'm getting disturbed. Please. Yes. So now, in the high contact, it is like the customer is going to decide the itinerary where actually he want how long he want to stay at the destination and what kind of tourist uh, tourist attraction he want to visit. So there is like he is actually the participant in the decision of itinerary. He is going to decide the itinerary with the help of travel agent. So this is called the high contact involvement by the tourist in the deciding the tour packages. So the other classification which is like on the basis of skills of service provider. So there are two kind of services. One is professional and the second is non-professional. So if we talk about the professional services, so there are like different types of services. Like there is lawyers, there is doctors, there are like accountants. So but in case of tourism, we doesn't have like some kind of you can say authenticity, authenticity, or you can say like we don't have that kind of authority which will provide the certificate or which will provide the license to run the business. Even though we are like very much like similar to the professionalism, but still though we doesn't have that kind of body, that kind of organization. In case of like accountant, if you want to do the accounting services, you have to take the permission from the ICAI, Indian Institute of Chartered Accountant. If you want to run the business of chartered accountant, you need a certificate from the ICAI. So but in case of tourism, even though we have a little like certification process, like we have IATA, we have TAI, we have uh, 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 tattoo, something like that we have, but still now it is not comes under the category of professionalism, but we are little similar to the professionalism kind of services. Like we can get the certificate from IATA to run the to book the airline tickets. We can get the certificate from the TAI to run the travel agency. We can get the certificate from the Ministry of Tourism to run the travel agency or tour operation kind of businesses. And the second category is that non-professional services. So non-professional services are like that. They doesn't have any qualification in the field, and in case of budget hotel, they doesn't have any standard. They doesn't have any certificate from uh, HR, something like that. There is an organization which used to provide the certificate to run the restaurant or the hotel. So, so we doesn't have any certificate from the Ministry of Tourism or HRIA, something like that. So this kind of services are very much into the tourism industries, like non-professional services. Uh, there are so many people, like where I was working in Hyderabad, the people who were running the business, who were running the travel industry, they were not having any qualification in the tourism industry. They were just like graduate from some any other colleges, but they were not expert or they were not qualified in the sector. But still now they are running the travel in the industry. So tourism industry is like so much into like non-professional. There are many lakhs, thousands of people who are providing the tourism services even though they doesn't have the they doesn't have the qualification in the tourism sector. So this should be like neglected, this should be banned, like because it is impacting, like ultimately we the people who are studying the tourism, the people like you are studying the tourism for 3 years, and if you are not getting job and if you are not in a position to run the business, ultimately you are the people who are going to be affected by by this kind of non-professionalism in the tourism sector. There should be some kind of certification so that the people who are in the tourism field, like the people who have done some kind of diploma, they have done some kind of graduation, so these kind of people are like very eligible for this kind of services. So this should be banned in the coming days, and some kind of certification level must be there to run a travel agency, so that we cannot suffer. The people who are like very much into the tourism industry, like you you should not suffer in the coming days. So that is called the non-professional services, which is provided by the unqualified person who doesn't have the knowledge in the tourism industry, but they have traveled to so many destinations, and because of that they are running the business into the tourism industry. That is called the non-professional services. On the basis of goals of service provider, we can divide on the on two bases. The first one is the profit goal and the second one is the non-profit goal. Is it, is it clear? It was
Yes,
clear
sir. Yes,
distinctions
yes,
of
sir.
service provider like professional services and non-professional services.
Yes, sir.
It was clear.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so the last point which I'll discuss is like on the basis of goals of service provider. So there are two bases. The first one is the profit goal and the second one is the non-profit goal. So every tour travel company, every tour operator, you can say every airline industry, every airline companies, every transport companies, every hoteliers, they are running the business just to get the profit out of it. Whatever business they are doing, they are running that kind of businesses. The purpose behind that is to get the profit, right? Like hotel, they cannot sell the room without getting any kind of profit. Airlines, they cannot sell the seat without getting the profit. That is the ultimate goal of any business. We cannot sell any kind of product unless and until we are getting some kind of profit. And if you are not getting the process, how you can sustain in the market in the future? You cannot sustain. So there are two types, like profit goal, the people, the companies who are like running the business for profit goals. That is the first category, and the second category is non-profit goals. So what kind of category we can take into this category? There are like you can take an example of uh, Indian Railways. You can take an example. So Indian Railways is like they are not taking the passenger for profit purposes, even though the profit is like secondary purposes. They doesn't have the primary purpose to earn profit out of the business. They have the secondary purpose. The profit is second purpose, but we have to provide the services to the customer. Like thousands of travel thousands of travelers, they used to travel by train. Even now the charge is, the ticket train rate is like very less. The government is not focusing to get something out of the services. They just are focusing to provide the services without the purpose of getting something in return. So this can be an example, and there are so many NGOs you can take into this category. Non-profit goal, the companies or the travel or the, you can say, NGOs, they are into tourism industry and they are not running the business just for profit. They are running to serve the customer. That is the ultimate goal of that kind of organization. They are not running the business for the profit reason. So this can be an example, like Indian Railways can be an example, and there are so many different organizations like ITDC are there, and every state have like their different organization like GS GTDC like Goa Tourism Development Corporation, MPTDC like Madhya Pradesh Tourism Development Corporation. So they are promoting the destination even though they are not getting something in return. The main purpose is not to earn the profit, because these are the organization which are funded by the government, and the ultimate goal of this kind of organization is not to earn the profit out of the business. Have you understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So is it clear whatever I have explained? Like
Yes, sir.
if you have any doubt, you can post in the chat box. I'm available. So the time is already 10:26, so I'll just wind up. So if you have, like, if any student is having any kind of doubt, you can just post it in the chat box. I will just try to answer it. Now you can unmute. Everybody can unmute your mics, and you can even also unmute your videos. And if you have any doubt, you can just put the question in the chat box, so that I will be in a position, I will be in a situation to answer the question. Does anyone have any doubt? Uh, Is everything clear?
Yes, sir.
Pakka.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
I will just try to stop the recording. So actually,